welcome to CityLine. It is great to be in your home. It is kind of a cold, chilly Thursday morning, May 24th, and we are live in the studio. We have a great hour ahead of us. Later on, we'll be speaking with MSHH Donor Closet, and you'll get to find out exactly what they do in this community and how you can help fill up their closet. And then the Children's Museum of Tacoma is here. They are one of my favorite organizations. They are building the next generation, one playgroup at a time. They have some great summer programs that you parents definitely want to know about. And then Tacoma Musical Playhouse is here with none other than My Fair Lady, one of my favorite books and musicals, so you don't want to miss that. Miss Leach and is here, and she is a delight, along with John Douglas Rake. And then with me, I have two extremely busy and very connected individuals who are here to talk about the North 21st Street project. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Pat Leach. You are the project manager for Tacoma Public Utilities of this project. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you.
Good to have you in the studio here, and all the people that you represent, because nobody does it alone. And then this beautiful woman next to you, Ms. Sonja Bert. You are the public information. You are a public information officer for Tacoma Public Utilities as well. Thank you also, Sonja.
Thanks for having us.
Very, very busy times for both of you to take time out of your day to prepare for this. So, Sonja, a lot of work, utility work happening in Tacoma. And when we think about the work that Tacoma Power is doing, they are replacing the old towers and the wood poles along North 21st Street, one of the most prettiest streets that we have. I mean, it's iconic. So how is it going, and tell us what's happening?
We know those towers are very tired. They were built in the 1920s as to bring power to Tacoma from the Cushman hydroelectric project along the Potlatch transmission line. And it was quite an engineering feat back then, which is why it's so prominent in that area and why customers and neighbors out there are interested in that project. But they're very tired and old, and new regulations and things require that we replace them. So they're getting some pretty new steel poles out there that are beautifying the street lines.
I love that, boy. And there's more to it, Pat, and we have some video here. There's more to it than what meets the eyes. So when we think about Tacoma Power, they're putting new transmission lines overhead instead of underground. Why is that?
Yes, well,
that's the big $1 million or several $1 million question.
Yes, it is. We get that question quite often. We would love to put lines underground, but unfortunately, it comes with a hefty price tag.
So give us a comparison. We're not going to hold you to it, but is it a huge disparity?
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay.
It's usually 5 to 10 times more expensive to place lines underground.
Then as a citizen, I thank you for being a good steward of our budget, because I did not know that. And I'm always like, I don't want these wires overhead, but there we go. So more cost effective to put it above. And then let's talk about also, because there's preservation also that goes into these lines, doesn't there, Sonja?
Yes. So we've had a wonderful partnership with the Tacoma Historical Society to preserve one of the insulators from the tower, the oldest on the line. We did that last week. It was a wonderful way to dedicate the line and to save and preserve a piece of history that our neighbors are concerned about and interested in. So we'll get that put on a display, and they're going to put that out in the fall. And so some community members were there, and it was an exciting moment, to be able to do that.
I love that you had some foresight about that, because I live in the North End in a historic home, and you don't miss those historic pieces until they're gone. It's one of those things where you're driving and you go, was it? Hey! And then it's too late.
Yeah.
So thank you for being such a good steward of that as well. What's the timeline on this, Pat, in terms of where are we from start to finish, and are we on track?
Yes, we're on track.
Yes!
Better than being on track.
We're ahead of schedule.
Yes, we are. The project started quite a few years ago with public outreach and partnering with Public Works and
Thank you for mentioning that, because we don't see that.
Yeah. But we started construction this May, and we have a very competent contractor on board, Michael's Construction. They're exceeding our expectations. Our crews are out there working as well. It looks like we could be done with the transmission line down North 21st maybe 2 months ahead of schedule.
Wow.
Hopefully the beginning of August.
That is impressive. I just got done in my other life going through a $1.3 million renovation on a commercial building.
Wow.
And I now have my PhD in construction timeline. And it just, one little thing, and it could easily extend it 6 months to 9 months. And then there's inspections that go along with this. So that is so impressive. Anybody who's remodeled a home knows if you're 2 months ahead, that's a good job. Let's talk about some of the partnerships, the coordinated partnerships that had to occur for this project to take place, Pat.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. This project is a credit to how well our public works and traffic engineering folks have been working with Tacoma Power engineers. Mm-hmm. We were able to get out in front of the public and outreach to the communities along the corridor to be able to place poles and locations that'll accommodate a future street design down 21st and allow public works to put in left turn lanes in the future.
Oh my gosh, what will that feel like? That will feel like less traffic, less backup, less people talking with their horns when you want to turn left. Yeah. I love that. So when we think about, speaking of traffic and impact on traffic, how is it going there?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you measure that?
Well, that's a good question too. Actually, the traffic impacts haven't been as bad as we thought they were going to be. I think that's a tribute to Sonja and her group at Community Media Services getting out in front of the project, warning the public of our current construction that's going on out there. And then our traffic engineers did traffic studies, so they knew the traffic patterns and tailored guidelines for us to use to help keep the vehicles and the pedestrians safe out there. So this is, I think, served to help others decide to use other major city arterials.
There we go.
And I gotta say, thank you to the public for your patience. And we reach out to you to continue to use other major arterials, not the neighborhood streets.
Thank you. Yeah, this is not Speed Racer going down the alleys.
And please, if you do drive down the corridor through our construction zone, drive slowly and pay attention. We want you to be safe. We want our contractor to be safe, as well as our crews.
I always say those are someone's mothers and fathers that you are passing there on that street. And they're also someone's sons and daughters. Please be careful. Oh my God, it just takes a split second. So Sonja, how is this project affecting the businesses in this area? Because that area, boom, I mean, that's a thoroughfare in and out of the Proctor district into some of those great little areas in the north end that it's known for.
It is, yeah. Really, like as Pat said, a lot of it's contributed to the outreach that's been done. We've got a great team, and one person specifically, Dave Rossholm, has been dedicated to.
I love Dave.
Yeah, he's great.
Dave used to be a TV Tacoma guy doing a little reporting for us. I love him.
He's done a lot of face-to-face outreach with businesses all along the corridor there and done a great job and provided the materials that we produce for them. And Michael's, our construction team, has done a great job of moving. There's a lot of room in the Westgate Shopping Center. There's a lot of parking areas and things, so they've done a great job of mapping that out.
Yes.
And so while there have been some impacts in terms of traffic and getting people in and out, they've done a great job of really navigating that. So we've really actually had minimal negative feedback out there. It's been fairly positive, actually pretty positive, and they're doing a great job.
You two sit in such conjoined camps in terms of working together, like a bicycle built for two. But the impact is also diametrically split. So what has been the biggest challenges for both of you in this? Because you're on the construction project side, and you are on the people side. But both of you are working to make this neighborhood a better place. So what challenges do you see? I'll start with you first, Sonja.
I think both teams, especially kind of the cross-functional communication internally about what's needed. We've had a lot of wonderful meetings and coordination, and it's actually kind of a new a new way of working together on construction projects. In the past, we've communicated, but there's definitely a lot more partnership now, and providing materials and things. And the crews have done a terrific job of providing photos and information and that we need to share with the public. And so it's been a terrific partnership.
Nice.
A lot of teamwork.
That is impressive, because one doesn't always think about, oh, I wonder if outreach or community engagement could use this picture. It's not something that when you're looking down at plans, you automatically go, oh, I should get a hold of Sonja and give her this piece. What's the biggest challenge been on your point of view?
Well, I'd have to say, this project is once in a lifetime project.
Yeah, it
Tacoma
is.
Power and the city, and the partnership that it takes to move it forward so quickly. But as the construction manager, we have a great project manager on the job. But that being said, there's a lot of things that keep us up at night. Yeah. Probably the greatest challenge is, coordinating all the multitude of activities that are happening simultaneously on this project. And, in order to keep the public safe, the contractor safe, our crews safe, and the environment protected. But luckily, like I said, we have a great project manager. We have an excellent contractor out there. I think Tacoma Power and the citizens of Tacoma are lucky to have some of the best trained line crews employed by Tacoma Power. All this is resulting in, I think, keeping the impacts fairly minimal to the public, the businesses, and keeping the project ahead of schedule.
I love that. It's all relative, isn't it? It really is. But boy, talk about being an air traffic controller. I mean, keeping all of that going without a collision. I can imagine what your whiteboard must look like. Oh. So let's talk about, Sonja, oh my gosh, we have less than a minute here. Let's talk about one of the most important things that you found in terms of a tool of keeping people engaged on this project.
My goodness. The biggest thing that we did that's new is we created a Facebook group
Yeah.
that was very specific to the North 21st Street project. It has about 250 members, probably more now. Folks are very engaged on there in conversations about the projects, facts and figures and video, and they're engaging with each other on other topics, so they're being educated not only about the project, but about other areas like tree trimming. Nice. And so it's been fun to watch and fun to participate in, but the challenge of it is keeping up with it.
Yes.
It's kind of a 24/7 thing, but it's been exciting because it's a new tool, and we're seeing that it's working and people are really enjoying it.
I love that. Yeah. I want to say thank you to both of you for being here today and for the teams that you represent, and for bringing us such transparency and clarity and such good news. And I want to invite you back, because when this project is over, there needs to be a big hurrah and a ribbon cutting. And I can't think of two people more worthy to be on this couch than you two. So we have a date. Whenever this project is done, I'm not going to say when, I don't want to jinx it, but we have a date to recap, okay?
You got it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll have Tacoma Musical Playhouse in the seat here to talk about My Fair Lady. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.